Okay, this is the last time we're going to use the quadratic formula to solve a quadratic equation. So our quadratic equation is negative 4x plus 3 equals negative 5x squared. Okay? The problem with this equation is it's not set equal to 0, and it's not written in descending order, so I can't tell the values of a, b, and c yet. The quickest way to get this equation in the correct form is to move the negative 5x squared over here by addition. All right? So let's do that. Remember, we always want our leading coefficient with x squared to be positive, so moving to the left works. None of these expressions are like terms, so we write them in the correct descending order. 5x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals 0. I always make my students list out the values of a, b, and c. A is 5, b is negative 4, c is 3. All right, we want to use the formula to solve this equation. If you look at this quadratic equation, I wouldn't want to have to spend time trying to factor it because it starts with a coefficient of 5, and that's a difficult trinomial to factor. And we're not guaranteed it will factor. You could not use the square root property to solve this quadratic equation because of that middle term. So this is a good choice to go right to the formula on this one. So we write x equals negative b is the opposite of your b. If your b is negative 4, the opposite would be positive 4. All right. Plus or minus square root. I'm going to do b squared in my head. Negative 4 times negative 4 I know is positive 16. By now you all should realize the b squared term is always going to be a positive number because squaring makes your sign positive. Then we're going to do negative 4ac. I like to do it in my head. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. Negative 20 times 3 would be negative 60. So that becomes negative 60 all over 2 times a. 2 times 5 would give me 10. Okay? Great. Then we're going to actually have to do the calculation. So we're going to follow, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, and do what's inside the grouping symbol. So we write x equals 4 plus or minus square root. 16 minus 60. Well, if I subtract, I know I'm going to get a negative number. And if I subtract 16 from 60, I should get 44 over 10. Now, we want to square root negative 44. Everybody knows you cannot square root a negative number. If you cannot square root a negative number, you cannot proceed working this formula. And if we cannot proceed working this formula, then we have no answer for x. And the way we say that is we say x is no real solution. We have no answer. Okay, our symbol for no solution is 0 with a slash. Okay, and that's it. So now we've seen when you solve quadratic equations, there are 4 possible solutions. You either get 2 real rational numbers, 2 real irrational numbers, you get the same number, so that'd be 1 real rational number, or you get no solution. Okay? Let's proceed. We have one more module to go. See you then.